Have you ever had the feeling you were being followed at night? What did you do? Let me know down below in the comments section. Welcome everyone to a brand new video. It's me, your host Dark, and today we're gonna be reacting to a video called Who Is the Follower by Clark Titter. Now I know nothing about this creature, I just saw this thumbnail and I thought it looked
scary as hell.
So why not do a reaction video on it? Before we start, make sure you leave a like right now and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any future reaction videos. Now I have a question for you guys. Which creature should I react to next? Leave all your suggestions down below. Now let's get straight into it.
The follower.
That is the follower. Whoa, what the hell was that?
It follows, it whistles, it stalks, it follows. Stop following me!
Dang, how did they get this recording of my crush while I was trying to ask her out? Oh, is this some? Oh, never mind. It just sounded the same.
Chasing me! Stop! Stop! Stop!
Or is it a different recording?
Those
I don't
were
know.
the final words heard from Abigail Lee.
Abigail
the phone
Lee.
call to her best friend, along with the photo message, arrived at 3 a.m.
No offense. So her name was Abigail. Kind of sounded like
A dude pretending to be an Abigail.
Or is that just me who felt that?
She couldn't be found the next
No, wait, was that Clark maybe? Was that Clark pretending to be an Abigail? Clark, my man, if you're watching this, you can be honest with me.
day and is considered missing, most likely
So
dead.
Abigail's missing.
She had noticed
Dead?
a strange shape following her at a distance for the past month.
Wait, how long ago was
Abigail,
this?
Abby, to the people who knew her, liked to walk home from work every day. Her apartment wasn't too far from her office, maybe a mile or three. Plus,
Yeah.
it was a safe neighborhood with a very low crime rate.
I mean, nothing is ever safe. Did you know your chances of being killed by a cow is very small? But it's not zero.
It was safe for her to walk home, even though she finishes work very late.
Well, that's a lie. Obviously, it's not safe for her to walk home from work because she's missing and presumed dead. So no, it's not safe.
But one day, she saw it. That figure. The sight of it creeped her out, plus there was a sound that echoed through the distance.
What kind of sound
She
was it?
felt uneasy, but making it home safe made her think it was just a random thing. That she was jumping at shadows and imaginary sounds.
Brett, you literally saw a creature. That's not your imagination. I hate it when people go... Listen, I can literally see a pile of clothes at night. That'll scare me. And in my mind, I'll be like, yes, good thing it scared me. Because if that was a real thing, I'd have probably jumped out the window. Break a couple legs. Maybe even open up my skull. But at least I'd be safe from whatever is in my bedroom. Until it also jumps out of the window and eats me. But that's something we can... Leave a like.
She saw the same thing when she was walking home the following day, except this time it was a bit closer and the sound was a bit louder.
And she still thinks she's
did her
imagining
best
it?
to ignore the fear and kept walking home. Again, that figure always walked the same pace and occasionally made the same sound.
How
that
can
was
you
too
ignore
distant
this?
for her to hear properly.
How can you ignore
Again,
this?
Abby made it home safe, and she assumed it was someone just doing what she did and walking home from work at around the same time. She
Mom,
felt silly
Abigail.
for getting scared, especially when nothing actually happened to her on either of those
Abigail,
days.
come on.
She resolved to just walk home from now on. But after that, her resolve broke. The person walking behind her was even closer, enough to make out that they were unusually tall and had long limbs.
How close
still
were they?
too-
Were they like this close? Because if it was this close, then at that point you should have known that your life's in danger. If they're about this close, yep. If you can give him a kiss.
Make out any finer features, but she could tell something was off. The sound was louder too. It felt like an insect was humming in her ears. But looking around, Abby didn't see any. Either way, it made her walk faster and
Abigail.
faster to get to the safety of her apartment.
Abigail, come on.
Glancing behind her, Abby saw that the figure in the distance was keeping pace with her. She suddenly stopped, and the figure stopped.
Why would you stop? Why would you stop? If you're scared enough to start sprinting, why would you stop? Why? Why would you stop, Abigail?
She shouted out to the distant figure, asking if she could help them with something.
What?
Why were they following her? The figure stood still, and only briefly did Abby hear the sounds of buzzing intensify.
If you turn around after sprinting and you see this thing behind you, would you talk to it? No, of course not. You'd start sprinting again. Bruh, I'd probably be so scared I'd start flying. That's what I'd probably do. I'd literally invent a way to fly. I would invent human flight. Out of fear.
Abby resumed walking and refused to look behind her again. One foot in front of the other, each one quicker than the last. Until Abby was almost jogging home, the ever-present buzzing strong in her head.
So now he knows where you live.
Abby decided to take her car to and from work the next day. Yes, it was a waste of gas, but she really didn't want to walk home anymore.
Call the police?
But in the car, the buzzing vanished. The presence vanished. Things were quiet and safe again. She thoroughly checked, but no one was following her in her car. Abby could go home and feel safe again. This was her routine for the next week. After that week, though, her car refused to start. The mechanic said that something had chewed through a lot of the wires that connected some vital components within the car.
Huh. Now what could have done that, I wonder? Surely it can't be the thing that's been stalking her for the past month. Or is it? I think I might be onto something here, guys. Do you think it could be the same thing? If you do, leave a like right now.
She was lucky though, as her job was so close to her home. She could just walk home while her car was in the shop. Abby despaired. She almost thought about taking a vacation while her car was in the shop.
You should.
She even brought it up with her boss, but her request was made at too short notice and her vacation was denied. And so she had to walk. That night was quiet and peaceful as she started her walk home from work. Abby almost thought the figure stalking her had moved on.
Can she take the bus?
The worst was over.
Buy a
That
bicycle?
was when she heard the whistling. Loud whistling that sounded almost like chirping. It was coming from behind her. She looked over her shoulder and in the distance, but much closer than ever,
What
was
did
someone
she
following
see?
her. Details that were not clear from the distance were much easier to see.
Oh, so I guess now they're about this close.
She wished she couldn't see. Pacing after her, step for step, was the tall figure that haunted her earlier in the month. It was very tall, easily past 6 feet, with long arms and even longer fingers.
We're not gonna mention the fact that he ugly as hell too. It's his face. Voldemort that ass.
Its
No, I'm
legs
just playing.
were
I'm just
equally
playing.
long. What scared Abby was
What?
the look of the thing's face. It looked like a doll's face with button eyes and a painted grin. Then the grin widened and the mouth opened to reveal rows and rows of pointed yellow
You need
teeth.
braces.
It raised a massive hand and waved,
Brush
fingers
your
rippling
teeth.
as it did. Abby ran. She heard the whistle and buzz follow after her. The sound was much louder, and it made Abby's head throb and hurt.
Dang.
It made her run faster, but she could hear the heavy steps further behind her. Somehow she made it home. Abby called the police and made a report about the creature
Finally!
stalking her. They promised that they would look into it, thinking it was some kids playing pranks on the frantic woman. They filed a report which automatically triggered a flag in the agency's systems, automatically closing the police case while agents were dispatched. The follower is a creature the agency is very familiar with, and we know how to prevent it from catching its victim.
How? Tell
The
me.
agents dispatched were due to arrive at Abby's home the following morning to explain how. But the agents were called away on a higher priority case and sent Abby an email when there were no other agents free to be
What?
dispatched.
What?
Even if the agents couldn't attend in person, the email contained all the information Abby needed.
Wait, Abby's a citizen. Isn't all the information that the agency has supposed to be like super confidential? So they just send her all this information through email? What if she decides to go to a newspaper with this information? What happens then? Alright, whatever. Let's just see what's in the email.
Abby's spam filter caught the email, and she never learned the information.
Spam
The trick to stop the creature is to approach it while whistling. That will immediately drive it away, and it will never show up again.
So you need to know how to whistle. Sure, I know how to whistle.
An easy solution. The worst thing to do is to keep running away from it night after night.
Oh, so
Getting scared only makes it come closer.
you have to
And hearing
confront
the
it.
creature's whistle makes people paranoid and manic. Abby didn't know this, didn't receive the information, and every day she ran from the follower.
So the agency has all this technology. They can work in secrecy without anybody knowing about their existence. But a simple spam filter manages to stop them? Really? They didn't figure out how to get past the spam filter?
Letting it get closer and louder,
So Abby
night after night.
did it.
The buzzing whistle followed her even into her apartment, robbing her of sleep and peace of mind. It was the last night when she left the office and saw that the thing was only a few steps away from her, waving and whistling and popping its mouth.
What is this? It looks like it's wearing a sheet. Where is the face? I see the legs, but where is its face? How is this its body? I'm super confused right now. What is this? Please, somebody explain it to me down below.
Abby called her sister, who, as expected, was fast asleep at the time. She didn't know what she was going to say, but the whistling grew even louder, and she suddenly felt a hand on her shoulder. So Abby ran. She didn't make it.
Oh well. It happens. Should have just whistled. Anyways, guys, so that was the Follower. Pretty interesting creature. At least I think so. But what did you guys think? Leave your opinions down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, once again, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any future videos on my channel. And hey, if you want to check out my other content, check out the vids on your screen by clicking here or here. Check out Clark Titter as well. I'll leave a link to his channel down below in the description. And hopefully, I will see every single one of you next time. Dark, signing out.